A few days ago now, a new official Minecraft server appeared, created and hosted by Mojang themselves. Besides 2 Reddit posts with only a few upvotes, and 2 YouTube videos with only a few thousand views, this extremely buggy and broken official server flew entirely under the radar. And that's not the only bizarre thing happening either. Recently, one of Minecraft's most notorious Bedrock servers, infamous for being pay-to-play, suddenly changed into what looks like an almost identical copy of a Java server, and is now seeing 10 times more players than it did only weeks before. There are some secret happenings going on behind the scenes of Minecraft Bedrock servers right now, and is Mojang and Microsoft secretly preparing for some big updates or changes that could even impact Java?
We were told something that really destroyed our faith in the process.
First, let's talk about Mineville. For those of you who didn't see this video, Mineville was arguably the most infamous Minecraft Bedrock Edition server, as it was one of the only Minecraft servers to exist where you had to pay to play and access the server's game modes. For example, to play Skyblock, you had to purchase this Skyblock pass for about $5 worth of Minecoins. Going through all the server's paywalled game modes and approximating based on the number of reviews each had, I estimated that the server had made upwards of $5 million in revenue using this pay-to-play monetization model. Extremely successful. Now, the server had quite a bad rep online, as its paywalled game modes were very basic, simple, and lackluster, especially compared to Java servers, not worth the money at all, and were also pay-to-win alongside being pay-to-play. Without seeing many updates, the server had seen a huge decline in popularity from its peak in the early 2020s, and was only seeing 300 to 500 players online daily. However, just over a month ago, the server suddenly changed. The server's player count massively increased, now seeing 2,000 to 4,000 players daily, and logging onto the server, things were entirely different. Majority of the server's players were now in 2 new game modes Mineville didn't have before. Game modes popular on many Java servers, Earth SMP and of course Lifesteal SMP. The only game modes from Mineville left entirely unchanged out of its almost a dozen were Prison and Skyblock, both of which still requiring you to pay to play. Earth SMP regularly has 1,000 to 1,500 players online it alone, an insane amount, and immediately upon logging in, you'll notice things are off. The chat, which is normally annoyingly up at the top left of the screen on Bedrock, is back down the bottom left as it is on Java. Opening up the game modes menu, and while looking all cool and custom as is normal on Bedrock servers, a lot of its teleport locations and setup all seem to be similar to what you'd see on Java servers. Even the commands people were using in the chat were all commands you'd normally only see on Java. Joining the server's Lifesteal SMP game mode, and it was much of the same. Even the spawn looked like a typical Java server spawn. Then I went to the PvP area and immediately noticed there's an attack cooldown here, just like there is on Java. But Bedrock doesn't have attack cooldowns, they never got that update. That was a Java only update. And then it all made sense. This is a Minecraft Java server running Geyser, a Minecraft plugin that allows Bedrock players to connect, a plugin which many Java servers use. For example, my Minecraft Java server has an RPG survival mode with a bunch of custom features like vanilla plus runes, classes, and custom dungeons with varying difficulties, of which the 2 hardest have still yet to be beat. We even have a $200 PayPal bounty and 2 special swords with a legal level of enchantments to the first person who beats it, all of which Bedrock players can also join using the IP right here. No issue whatsoever, come check it out. Except here on Mineville, only Bedrock players can join. A partnered and featured Minecraft Bedrock server, which is actually a Java server that only Bedrock players can connect to. Isn't that funny? I got in contact with the server's new owner who purchased the server, Pizza MC, an experienced Java server owner with years of experience, and he gave me some insights into what exactly was going on behind the scenes at Mineville. Prior to being bought by Pizza MC for $350,000, Mineville was losing money. In fact, it had been losing money since it was acquired by its parent company, Super League Enterprise, in 2022, who as a company isn't doing too well. But you might be thinking, how is it possible that a server that seemingly made so much money could actually actually be in the red? Well, it was simply neglect and mismanagement, as I was told. The server was making around $50,000 monthly prior to being acquired by Pizza MC, meaning my $5 million estimate likely wasn't far off. But despite such notable earnings, it was losing money monthly due to super expensive hosting as well as paying the salaries of multiple full-time employees. The server was spending tens of thousands of dollars monthly on cloud hosting to run the server, probably around 10 to 20 times more than they should have, completely unnecessary as they could have just used physical server hosting as almost all servers do. On top of that, they had 5 full-time employees with health benefits, despite the server seeing little to no notable changes in years, of which Pizza MC told me made their salaries doing nothing. The whole server was hugely mismanaged and a huge waste of potential, with an outdated monetization model and server infrastructure that hadn't been updated since the server released way back in 2017. Pizza MC plans to eventually phase out the server's last 2 remaining paid game modes and turning them into traditional Skyblock and Prisons modes you see on Java, reimbursing those who bought access, but the server's other paid modes would likely never make a return. The server's monetization is now very similar to that of a typical public Java SMP. You have a variety of ranks ranging from about $10 in Minecoins to about $30, all with your typical Java rank perks. But there's one key difference. As Pizza MC told me, unlike on Java where crates are allowed, they are strictly prohibited on Bedrock Edition. In fact, any sort of gambling or RNG monetization is entirely banned on Bedrock partnered servers. As such, Mineville sells item and cosmetic bundles instead in their place. Overall, the server's monetization is considerably better than it was before. The server has moved away from the pay-to-play model, and while it is pay-to-win as is required for the server to survive, there is no pay-to-win gambling whatsoever. And clearly these changes have worked, just like how you non-subs should change your subscription status to me to subscribed. No pressure. Talking more with Pizza MC, he told me that he was able to essentially resurrect the server and 10 times its player count just by turning it into a run-of-the-mill Java one, no additional advertising or features required. And this really demonstrates the potential Bedrock servers have. By having an inbuilt server list, Bedrock servers have access to infinitely more promotion than any Java server has, allowing them to have an influx of players for life. Access to affordable advertising and a lack of inbuilt natural server discovery has been slowly but steadily killing the Java server scene, as smaller servers can no longer afford to compete with the bigger ones who are spending thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars monthly on advertising on server listing websites. These newer and smaller servers barely get players and thus can't make money to grow bigger and continue server development, leading to an overall decline in Java multiplayer server popularity, as I've talked about in detail in videos before. What Bedrock has here with the partnered server system is something Java server owners could only dream of having. But there are lots of issues with this Bedrock partner system too. Mainly the fact that it's almost impossible to apply and become a partnered server nowadays. Almost all the current Bedrock featured servers either were there when the system first released in 2017 or have staff who worked on other partnered servers and therefore had connections able to get their newer server partnered. Besides Galaxite, there has been essentially 0 new partnered Bedrock servers that have come from outside this ecosystem in the 8 years it has existed now. Why is that exactly? Well, it's very hard to get information on the behind the scenes of the Minecraft Bedrock featured server system, but Samito, Mineplex's new owner, who has been trying for almost 2 years now to get the Mineplex Bedrock server up again, shared some insights about his experience trying to reapply with me.
Long story short, to kind of run you through what's happened to us, obviously when the business shut down, we acquired it, and I met with Mojang about like a week or 2 after we bought the business. They forced us to go back through the process, and I asked about our marketplace assets, and I said, hey, like, what about our Compass login? Like, can we get any of this? And they said, oh, don't worry, you guys can get access to your business. And so we say, okay, like, we're gonna play ball, like, we got to do the right thing for our players. They want us to rebuild, we're gonna rebuild. Okay, we hear nothing for months. This conversation happens in July, right? We don't hear back from our contact until I think November. Finally, after talking in November, got our formal meeting and introductory call with, you know, the same person that was there before, set up in March. Our March meeting comes around, it goes great. They say, okay, we're gonna schedule your play tests for early this summer. June goes by, crickets. July goes by, crickets, right? So we're emailing them, and I have the email chains of us requesting access to our assets. Finally, we hear from somebody in August after we've already committed the money and, you know, the time and everything to build per their request. We then get told that The people that we needed for the playtest had gone on 2-month vacations on alternating months, and that we would be able to hear back in October. It comes to November now, and we hear nothing. It's like, yo, we've put all this time and energy, our players' resources into this. Like, we need to hear something here. Turns out a department shift had happened. A lot of things were all over the place. I can't tell you the exact things that were said to me there. What I can tell you is that it left us very confused. We were told something that really destroyed our faith in the process. We were very lost and confused based on what they told us for months, so we focused on really what we could do for our community in the here and now. So we finally email back again in April of this year, and I say, hey, we need a straight answer on this. And I was told that, hey, we'll get you in contact with this guy again this week. I'll talk and we'll figure it out. After that, crickets.
Now, there's much more other very interesting stuff Samito told me that I'm not going to share just yet, and will likely make a video talking about in the future, as it deserves a video of its own. But just based on his experience trying to reapply and get Mineplex, once one of the most popular Bedrock servers, back into the partner system, it should be crystal clear how convoluted, neglected, and poorly run the application process is. If Mineplex, one of the original Bedrock servers, can't get back in, what chance do any other new and upcoming Bedrock servers have? And because almost no new Bedrock servers can seemingly get partnered, it has led to many of the existing Bedrock servers getting complacent with the lack of competition, failing to provide innovative or frequent updates, and using outdated monetization models. Mineville was the perfect example of this. With just some relatively straightforward updates, Pizza MC was able to 10 times the server's player count. So why? Why has Microsoft and Mojang seemingly been entirely ignoring the Bedrock featured server system? Why isn't there healthy competition and new servers being added? Well, there's no way to know for sure, but one thing we do know is that things might be changing soon. As of only a few days ago now, completely unannounced, a new official partnered Bedrock server appeared on the server list. Except unlike all the others, this one was created by Mojang themselves. There is almost no information about this online, surprisingly, besides 2 Reddit posts and 2 YouTube videos. The server was a capture the flag server, which, as Mojang stated, was created to help us test our server tech. As for the actual server, from the limited footage available, it was very buggy and had lots of issues, with this YouTuber saying that half the time they couldn't even connect to the server to play in the first place.
Half the time I can't even join the server.
The gameplay was basic. Players were placed in an arena with only a bow where they could shoot at the other team to kill them and then capture the other team's flag to score a point. You could punch people while holding the flag to one-shot them, despite that clearly not being intended. Players' hunger would run out despite there being no food, meaning they couldn't sprint anymore until the game ended. Players could escape the server's hub and even die in it. Some of the maps looked like they were straight out of 2011, if not earlier, and there was likely no anti-cheat, meaning players could blatantly cheat with no issue. But clearly, the point wasn't to have a life-changing new Minecraft multiplayer gameplay experience, but instead to test whatever Mojang were meant to be testing. Which is what, exactly? Well, that's the big secret. Nobody knows why Mojang randomly out of the blue, after basically ignoring the Bedrock featured server system for multiple years, decided to test their mysterious new server tech. What server tech are they even referring to anyways? Is it a new multiplayer server software for Bedrock? Physical servers like Realms which people can purchase? Some new Minecraft Bedrock featured server builder tool which lets people create game modes and minigames on Bedrock within Minecraft, or a user-friendly GUI perhaps? Or maybe something entirely new nobody has even considered yet. Personally, I hope that this is a sign that Mojang and Microsoft are finally looking to allow new featured servers to apply again, ideally being more transparent with the application process. Maybe they are even looking to actually partner with game development studios to release some Mojang curated servers containing minigames or game modes people can play. But will Java ever see any of this attention? Well, we don't know for sure, but it's nice to see something happening in the Minecraft server scene after years of neglect and stagnation. It's better than nothing, I guess. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching.